From my heart, man. I have no motives. I'm here with, just imagine a big red heart, man, just sharing for another Bobby. If you're that smartest person in the room, this is not for you. This is for somebody that wants to learn more about real estate. You know, I created a real estate portfolio, my wife and I, which sits on today $750 million. We've been doing this throughout the years. We started in Section 8, small assets, duplexes, triplexes, and now we've built them up. Now even we're developing today. It's your job to get on Google, to go deeper as to a dive, to find out more what I'm about to show you. So here we go. You're gonna buy a 6-unit apartment building, a small 6-unit apartment building, and each of those units are $150,000. You times that by 6. That means you're gonna buy this 6-unit apartment building, this 1965, 1980, doesn't make a difference, for $900,000. You're gonna put 25% down plus 2.5% estimated closing costs. That's a total of a down payment called equity, $247,500 to buy this 6-unit apartment building that's going to cost you $900,000. If you don't have the $247,500, you can get partners, you can get investors, you can do a number of things. Now you simply take that 6-unit apartment building, and currently it has $1,500 per unit per rent right now in place, meaning that all 6 units are being rented today for $1,500 a month. That equates to $9,000 a month. You multiply the $9,000 times 12, which is a year, you're gonna come up with a total gross income of $108,000 a year. This does not include other income that you can charge, reimbursements, so I'm really on a high level matter, just giving you an example. So we have $108,000 in gross income. What I do, not sure about you or others. I can't give testimonial for others. I only can tell you how I look at life and how I underwrite for this type of asset class. Cut that $108,000 by 2, meaning that 50% is for expenses, vacancy, bad debt, the list goes on and on and on, but all the what ifs. You're really stressing it. A lot of people are gonna criticize me for that because they're saying, oh, Bobby, your expenses are too high. I agree. But I stress deals because I understand things do happen, and that'll give you some extra reserves in your account. So check it out. We cut the 108 by 2. We're left with $54,000 after the expenses. That's an NOI. It stands for net operating income. The $54,000, we then divide that by the purchase price. We bought it for $900,000. That means you're buying this 6-unit apartment in place with the current income in place, doing nothing to it, at a 6% cap. And how we got the 6% cap? Again, you take the $54,000 that's left over after you chop the expenses by half, you divide that by the acquisition, your purchase price of $900,000 you bought it. That means you bought this deal for a 6 cap. Moving on, now we get a loan. You remember we put 25% down, and we have to get a loan for 75% of the $900,000. It's called the leverage. That is gonna be a $630,000 loan, and let's just assume it's 6%. Again, this is just an example. You can use 8%, you can use 5%, you can use 7%. It's totally up to you. This is just an example. You know today's market, so just use that as an example. $630,000 loan at 6%. Annually, a debt service is gonna cost you $37,800 based on an interest-only product. You now subtract the $54,000, the net operating income we had after we chopped the expenses by half. We have $54,000 left over. Now you have to go ahead and subtract $37,800, the annual debt service, the loan annually. You subtract it by the $54,000. You have now only $16,200 left over, called positive cash flow. After a lot of reserves, a lot of the what ifs, that 50% is a good amount that you should really go after. It should cover everything on those expenses and maybe even leave you a little extra for reserves. So $16,200 is left over. Now that is called a cash on cash. What are we making on our $247,500 payment? Equity. So $16,200, you now divide that by your down payment. You remember 25% down plus 2.5% closing costs, 27.5% down payment on $900,000 was $247,500. You take the $16,200 that's left over after your debt service, you divide that by your down payment, your equity, including closing costs, you now are making 6.5 cash on cash, meaning that on your $247,500, How much am I making annually, Bobby? In this case example, you're making 6.5% a year, and that is called cash on cash. Now check this out, the value add. What you're looking for is to buy value. Well, what I look for and what I would recommend you doing is don't go down a rabbit hole trying to create something that's not there without bona fide data. So what I do to hedge myself, I'm buying something today for $900,000, and I want to buy something that I know for a fact these rents are under market, meaning that they're below market. I can charge more once a lease expires, doing nothing. See, how I look at a value add is before you start doing capital improvements, doing a kitchen, doing flooring, whatever, don't miss the value add. What can I increase these rents by doing nothing? And this is this example. I've done this many times. So the value add, we have $1,500 in place, and when we bought it for $900,000, that is the old rent. But now when these rents burn off, whether it's month to month or an annual lease, when they burn off, the market tells me I can charge $1,750, the spread of $250 there, by doing nothing because the rents are under market. And again, doing nothing, these are the new rents. Now let's just assume we go ahead and we convert all 6 units to this $1,750 once those leases burn off. Just by increasing the rents, again, improving nothing, meaning putting no more money in this deal, $17,500 times 6 units. Now your new rents per month, including no other income that you can charge, reimbursements, other forms of income, you're gonna receive $10,500. Multiply it by 12, which is a year. That's gonna give you $126,000 a year in gross income, not including any other income that you can charge. You divide it again by half, 50% for what? Expenses. You're left with now $63,000 NOI, net operating income. Doing nothing again. $63,000 is your new NOI, net operating income. You divide that by the original purchase price. We bought the darn thing for $900,000. We did nothing to it, so that $900,000 stands strong. That now gives you a 7 cap. Before you're at a 6 cap, now you just increased 100 basis points. And a lot of people don't think that's a big spread between 6 and 7. That is huge, just a lot of money in there. You take the $63,000, you now subtract it by that original loan we had, $630,000, was $37,800 a year, leaves you with $25,200. This is after debt service. This is called your net cash flow. And remember, the 6% interest only, that was the loan, $630,000. The original cap was 6%. Now we're at a 7% cap. The value add, you got $25,000 NOI. You now subtract, you remember your new NOI by increasing the rents by $250. You subtract it by your down payment plus your closing costs originally, $247,500. Now, guys, this is where you start making money. Now your cash on cash is 10%. The original cash on cash was 6.5%. We've increased the cash on cash return by 350 basis points, 3.5%. That is a huge spread. Moving forward, the sale. Now we're gonna go ahead and look at selling it because it's a 3-year hold in this example. We bought it for $900,000, doing nothing. We have a $63,000 in place income. We're gonna divide that by a cap rate, a projected cap rate of 5% to the market. This is just an example. If the market's calling for a 5% cap, we're gonna price this, we're gonna bring this to market at a 5 cap. That means, and by the way, there's no adjustments here. There's some adjustments you have to do with some expenses when you bring it to the market for the new buyer that's gonna be exposed to it. So it does not include any adjustments. Long story short, you bought it for $900,000. You did nothing to this other than increase the rents because you distinguished and located a property that was, the rents were below market. You're now gonna sell it for $1,260,000 when you bought it 3 years ago for $900,000. And on top of it, you've been getting cash flow as I illustrated. Check this out, man. You take the $1,260,000, now it's a closing. We sell it for $1,260,000, we gotta pay off that loan. You remember the $630,000? And then the $630,000, now you have $630,000. Now you're gonna pay yourself back that down payment plus a closing cost of $247,500. You have $382,500 left that you have made, not including even the cash flow that you have made for the last 3 years. I'm not even taking that in an example here. You now subtract the $247,000. Now you got the $382,000 that's left over. You divide that by your down payment, $247,500. That gives you 1.55%, 155% return. You simply just divide that by 3 years. It's a 3-year hold. You're making about 51% a year on this investment. Again, guys, this is just a case example. The point I'm trying to make here, it's your duty, your job, if you want to get in this space as I did. No one showed me this, man. I got curious. No different of the book I wrote, Upsiders, How to Upside Your Life. You have to have curiosity and leads to an obsession. Obsession leads to execution, meaning finding out more about what I am telling you right now, man. I have no motives. I am not looking to sell you a package. I am not looking for any investors. Matter of fact, that $750 million real estate portfolio that my wife and I have, no investors. We raised no money, man. We did this throughout the years. So can you, man. I hope this video helps you. PMA all day, every day.